Hello and welcome. It is always a privilege to be involved in managing the success of your organisation and the colleagues with whom you are closely connected. For many of us, we may view the management part of our jobs as secondary to our main technical or professional expertise. However, as soon as we have people responsibilities, management and leadership become the most important focus of our roles. It is through people that the business will be successful, and you are integral to enabling their success and therefore the success of the business. Today, you are being given a choice to express an interest in a management apprenticeship. Managers all over the country are using apprenticeships as their leadership development programme. Apprenticeships enable you to learn management tools, techniques, skills and behaviours and apply them in the workplace. They keep pace with your management responsibilities as they evolve over the period of the apprenticeship. They will open doors for you at work as your employer discovers your extending capabilities. And finally, apprenticeships give you the opportunity to gain confidence in your leadership capabilities, to prove this to yourself and to your employer through a portfolio of evidence. This leads to an external assessor awarding you a licence to practice management, as well as an industry recognised qualification, all because you opened yourself up to the choice that is in front of you today. Listen carefully to how you can enter this exciting new world.
Hiya, my name's Lily and I'm considering whether to complete an apprenticeship with Crosby management training. Thanks for giving me this expression of interest and application form, which I understand is the first step of the enrolment process. Before I complete the form, do you mind if I ask a few questions just to make sure I fill it out correctly? The form asks for my reasons for the application and to be specific about my motivation and future career aspirations. What sort of things should I write?
That's a really important question, Lily, because it's absolutely essential that you don't embark upon this apprenticeship if there's a better way for you to develop your skills. The reason I say that is that this is a government-funded programme that requires a long-term commitment. Typically, level 3, 12 to 18 months, level 5, you're talking 18 to 2 years, 18 months to 2 years. So only complete this form if you and your employer feel it's necessary and are happy for you to embark upon an extended programme of study. Vitally important is where you see your future career going in the short to medium term.
Thanks for that, Paul, that was really useful. The next question asks about the qualifications that we already have. What should I write there?
I think what's most important is your highest current qualification. That could be a degree in your specialist subject. We don't need all your GCSEs and A-levels. You could just put the number of them and the year that they were achieved. But what we do need actually is your English and maths.
The question after that relates to CPD. What does that mean?
What we're looking for here is anything that you've done that isn't sort of qualification, that hasn't got a qualification certificate with it. So it might be an internal course that you've done, something that you've done that's relevant to your work. All the time, what we're looking to achieve through this form is to get a level of your prior learning, so that when we put you on the apprenticeship, we can demonstrate that there is a sufficient gap in your knowledge for you to justify doing the apprenticeship, which is government funded.
On the form, it asks me to give a summary of my current role. What kind of things should I be putting in there?
The obvious answer to that one, Lily, is attach your current job description.
Thanks for that, Paul, that's easy enough. The next part mentions that my line manager should help towards the endorsement of this apprenticeship application. What really does that mean?
So this bit's really important because your line manager is part of a tripartite agreement that is going to be signed as part of the enrolment process. Your line manager will be playing a major role in the delivery of your apprenticeship programme. and ensuring that you get 20% off the job learning as part of your apprenticeship. And we're going to be utilising a management tool called the 26 Steps, which is going to be embedded into your online learning platform. So your manager needs to be interacting with you throughout the completion of that online tool. The manager will also attend progress reviews, which happen every 12 weeks throughout the period of your apprenticeship. So we like the manager to attend for the whole progress review if possible, but if not, the last 30 minutes of it, because those can typically take a good 2 hours to complete, to review your progress. So it's a major ask really of the line manager to develop you in this area. So it's not to be underestimated, and it's extremely important.
In the overview of previous employment roles, how much should I be putting there?
Again, what we're trying to establish here is that you've not been acting in a managerial capacity for years, because that would invalidate your application to do this apprenticeship program. So just list any previous roles you've had, but as I say, if you happen to have been involved in management in the past, then that does make you ineligible to do the apprenticeship. So we wouldn't be expecting to see in that list anything that says I've acted as a team leader or I've acted as an operational manager in my previous career. So keep it brief and just a list of what you've done previously.
The last question is about factors affecting my learning or funding. What sort of thing do you need here?
In terms of eligibility, we mean the devolved nations we can't use English apprenticeship levy funding for the devolved nations unless you work 50% of your time in England. So that's that. But in addition, apprenticeship should be available to all people, regardless of age, disability, learning difficulties, etc. So here, if you have any disability or learning difficulty, this is where you would write that.
Could you quickly run through the aspects of the enrolment process for me, please?
What we first need to look at are the expression of interest forms and the assessment against the standard forms that you will have completed. We're looking here to check that you have significant learning to take place within your apprenticeship, and we're checking your commitment and motivation to your apprenticeship to ensure that we are drawing down the levy funding correctly. So we have to check that criteria is right first. Your enrolment will last for around 2 hours, and we ask that both you as the apprentice and your line manager is there. We know that it's really important that this apprenticeship is seen as a three-way activity. It needs to be supported by us as the training provider, by your line manager, and clearly you as the apprentice have a large role to play too. So all three of us have to confirm our commitment to the apprenticeship. Within the enrolment as well, you'll find out lots more about your apprenticeship programme. We will look at your individual learning plan, working out exactly what it is that you need to be doing within your apprenticeship to fulfil both your role within your work and the requirement of the apprenticeship standard.
Earlier on you mentioned about English and maths.
Yes, every apprentice who enrolls on an apprenticeship in England, regardless of level, is required to be assessed against their English and maths ability and offered support if needed. But just to reassure you, our team that support on this have a 94% success rate, so you'll be in good hands if it's required.
That's very reassuring. I think you've answered all of my questions and I can't wait to get started.
So you have now heard how you can express an interest in a management apprenticeship. The standards of these apprenticeships have been designed by employers who have identified that the knowledge, skills and behaviours that you will learn, develop and embed in the workplace will benefit you and your business, both whilst you are on programme and for a long while afterwards. As an experienced business leader and coach, practicing leadership myself, day after day, as well as coaching others, I do encourage you to check out this opportunity and open yourself up to the possibilities that could be out there for you. Go on, express your interest.